Welcome back, it's Javier.
And Adela.
And today we're going to be doing HorrorPack review.
3 of the 4 movies we got in our September horror pack that we're going to be talking about today.
The fourth one we did not see, and that was Dead Mine. We weren't sure if we actually wanted to watch that one, so we kind of didn't.
It's just kind of on the back burner. We'll get to it someday.
The HorrorPack exclusive, Hellarious, American Mary, and The Hole. Not butthole. The hole.
Butthole. The
Alright.
butthole.
So we're going to get started with the HorrorPack exclusive one. Now this one, of course, this is an anthology movie. It is a combination of like horror and comedy.
Mm-hmm.
Hence the title, Hellarious.
Yep.
Now there's, I think, there was like 7 different shorts on there?
7 different shorts, yeah.
And they're all different. None of them really go together at all. These are just all standalone short films on there. The first one there was about a killer shopping cart turned apocalypse. So
Yeah.
it was actually kind of...
It was basically the shopping carts, like, get their revenge on people for abusing them and not putting them away. Which is really true. That's like a big pet peeve of mine, is people not putting their shopping carts away at stores. So, it's funny.
It was pretty funny, and we had watched this one like probably a couple days before we went grocery shopping. So when we pulled into the parking lot of Walmart to do our grocery shopping, all I could think about was that first short on this movie, just thinking about how funny it was. And I'm not really sure who came up with that first short, but I'm sure on my mind, I'm over here thinking that probably somebody who works at a grocery store who hates having to do that all the time, collect carts from random spots. But
Probably.
I'm not really a big fan of comedy and horror movies, but I actually found that pretty funny and kind of entertaining. I guess these little shorts aren't meant to be taken serious anyways, so there's that. And then the second one, what was the site? It was a guy in a trailer fighting...
Oh, the Chupacabra
Yes,
one.
yes, it was a Chupacabra.
Mm-hmm.
That one I kind of just found really gross. There wasn't really anything that funny about that movie, about that little short. It was just kind of gross because the guy's living conditions weren't necessarily like...
Yeah, it was just...
the best, and that kind of took away from what that short was about.
I think the only funny thing about that one was the fact that he just knew it was a chupacabra, and like it was just like a normal thing that happens.
Yeah.
Like people just fight chupacabras. So I think that was kind of funny because it was just like a normal thing, which I don't think that's a normal thing. People just fighting chupacabras. But yeah, so that was really the only funny part about that one.
Oh, yeah. So then we get to the third one, which was actually probably my favorite short in this one. It was funny, it was stupid at the same time. It was basically this group of friends, they get together at a bar one day, and one of them jokingly just suggests they're kind of getting tired of like their wives kind of
nagging them and doing typical wife things, I guess.
So, one of the guys jokingly suggests that they just kill their wives. So, like, they just kind of laugh about it for, like, a minute. Then, like, their faces get serious. So, this movie, they pretty much end up killing their wives. And they think everything's gonna be all good. Nobody's ever gonna... Which kind of end up, like, backfiring. I mean, the undertone on it is, marriage is forever. Then we get to the fourth short on here, which is probably the dumbest one on this one.
Really dumb.
It's so it's pretty much this like heavy metal guy, like playing his guitar in in the middle of a park. And he kind of sucks at playing the guitar.
Mm-hmm.
So he goes home, and his like friend gives him like this like pentagram shaped guitar, and his friend's trying to like warn him of stuff like so he leaves as his friend is trying to warn him stuff.
Basically, it's a devil's guitar that makes you good. but like there's consequences.
So yeah, this one was pretty stupid. Like this was not. I don't know. This was so he plays the guitar and pretty much everybody in the park ends up getting killed by
like this blade that like shoots out of the guitar.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, there's even like one scene in there. It even didn't. It was shown. It wasn't shown on screen, but like a baby gets beheaded.
Well, we don't know if it was beheaded or just was killed.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I don't know. That one was pretty stupid.
And
not really.
Just kind of really extra dark with like baby killing. Like that's.
Yeah, that wasn't
funny.
Yeah, that one actually was not funny at all. But then we get to the fifth one on here, which was kind of gross, but probably fits the movie the best. It's these two lunch ladies. They end up winning a concert tickets to go see Johnny Depp play live somewhere in California.
Mm-hmm.
The only downside to this is that they have to come up with their own airfare. And meanwhile, they work at a school.
Mm-hmm.
And they're on the verge of getting fired because they can't come up with any good meals to like serve to the students. So long story short, they one of the lunch ladies ends up running into like a bitchy teen in the school restroom, ends up killing the bitchy teen.
And then they make her into food, and everyone loves it.
Yeah, so.
It's gross.
Yeah, pretty gross. Then, after that one, we get to probably the grossest one, the weirdest one. I'm not really sure how to explain it. This woman, she owns like a dog.
The dog gets bitten by like a werewolf, but it's like the opposite. Like he turns into a human at night. The dog turns into a human at night. And then, like, the woman is like super desperate for like a boyfriend, so when she comes home from work or whatever this one night and her dog is a human, she doesn't realize that it's her dog. She thinks it's just this like hot naked dude in her house, so they like, you know, they yeah, and the human version of the dog ends up biting her, so then she turns into a werewolf, or you know, same kind of thing where she's a dog and then a human. It's fucking weird and really gross. Like, just odd. I don't know who comes up with this shit. So the last one on here, number 7, is like the bad Satanists, and that's probably my favorite out of all of them. It's so funny. So it's basically this like pregnant woman. She's on this table, and there's like this group of people that are like have like a pentagram drawn on the floor. And they have like the masks and the robes, and they're trying to like summon the devil with this woman's baby. But they're bad Satanists, so they don't know what they're doing, and they end up just like summoning Jesus instead. It's pretty funny. I think that one's my favorite one.
Yeah, overall, you know, again, I don't like comedy mixed in with my horror movies, but this was it was a fun watch. I'm not gonna say it was good because I'm not really a fan of this kind of stuff, of comedy and horror, but it's definitely worth a watch. My least favorite, again, would probably be the punk rocker in the park. That was just really dumb. I could have gone without that.
Mm-hmm. That one was stupid.
But I'm probably gonna give that one, this anthology, probably 5 out of 10. Because it wasn't terrible, it just not my thing.
Yeah. Alright, so next we have The Hole. This one's pretty good. I mean, it is, you know, a B movie, so the quality kind of sucks, the acting kind of sucks, but, you know, what can you expect from a B movie? However, like, the story, then, like, the plot line, I actually really enjoyed it. It's basically, I don't really want to give too much away, but these kids move into this house, and there's this weird like hatch that's like a dark hole that seems to lead to nothing in their basement, and they don't know what it is, and then like creepy stuff starts happening. There is like an underlying message, but I don't want to give that away because that kind of ruins the movie. But I did like the storyline. It was good. I would watch it again. someday.
Yeah, I thought it was a pretty decent movie. I didn't know if this was going to turn out to be good or not. Although the guy who directed this movie also directed, whatever I said, directed Gremlins and Small Soldiers, both really good movies. So, of course, we gave this one a watch, feeling positive about it because of those movies. It did turn out to be a good movie. The one thing I don't like about this movie, really small thing, is the title itself.
Yeah, the title definitely could have been better. It's kind of...
Yeah, it's not the kind of title that, you know, your everyday audience is going to be like, oh, that sounds like a interesting movie. It's kind
sounds like a great movie.
Yeah, it's one of those titles that if you saw this at, like, on a rack at, like, Walmart or Target, you'd be like,
probably not.
But it actually is a pretty decent movie. I'm going to give this one a 7 out of 10.
Yeah, I'll agree with that.
And last but not least, we got American Mary.
This one's really good.
Yes.
Like, really, really good. We really enjoyed this one a lot.
So, yeah, this movie is pretty much about a med school student. She needs money to, pay for her classes, her tuition. So she ends up, going through, like, this movie's version of Craigslist to, like, kind of look for any kind of job. She ends up going to this strip club to originally apply for a job there. She decides that she doesn't want the job after all, but as she's walking out, something happens to one of the employees that works at the strip club, and the owner, knowing that she's a med student, asks for her help and offers her $5,000 as a reward. Mm-hmm. So she goes ahead and takes that offer, and she helps this guy out, and that's kind of where this whole movie takes off from there.
Mm-hmm. She basically was a med student that just decided that she wanted to pursue doing black market body modifications on people. So her first, like, real job was this woman who was trying to transform herself into a Barbie doll, so she wanted all of her, like, female parts taken off. So she did that for her, and it just kind of took off from there. She realized she could make a lot of money and that she was really good at it. So she starts doing black market body mods for people, and then things kind of go horribly wrong, and the ending kind of sucks. Like it's
yeah,
rough.
The ending on this movie was not really the best it could have been. It could have been written better. I mean, considering the rest of the movie was really good. The one thing I do got to say about this movie is that there is a rape sequence in this movie, and that might trigger some people. So this movie, because of that scene, may not be for everybody. Yeah. Although that particular scene kind of has to do with what the rest of the movie is gonna be about.
Mhm. Yeah.
So if you can't sit through watching something like that, then maybe this is not the kind of movie you should be watching. But
I will say it's not a super graphic rape either. Like it's rape, and it's rape. Yeah. Like, it's obvious, but it's not like super graphic like in some movies. So just
Yeah, this movie turned out to be really good. Really gory, really kind of disturbing stuff with the whole body modification stuff in this movie. With this movie, I think I'll give this one an 8 out of 10. This one, what could have been a really good movie had it had a different, better ending.
I mean, I kind of like the ending. It was, like, poetic in a weird way. If you've seen it or you plan on seeing it, you know what I'm talking about. But, like, it sucks in a way, in some ways, but it's also, like, poetic, and I didn't mind it. I would actually give it a 9 out of 10. I really enjoyed it. And I'm not really one for gore all that much. Like, I like more suspenseful and, like, psychological horror, not so much blood and guts, which there's a lot of that in this movie, but I really did enjoy it.
Yeah, it was definitely a good watch. Out of all the movies that we got in HorrorPack, even though we didn't watch the Dead Mind movie, I'd say this was a pretty decent month. I mean, again, we might be surprised with the other movie. I mean, there's been some decent stuff being said about it, but just the title alone is something that makes me not want to watch it.
Yeah, we just haven't gotten around to it yet. We will.
Oh yeah, that concludes our review video for September's HorrorPack. If you've seen any of these movies, let us know down below in the comments what you thought of these movies. As always, make sure to like this video, subscribe, hit the bell button, because we got a ton more stuff coming your way.
Yep, and thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed, and we will see you next time. Bye.